Secrets hidden in plain sight. Powers that move the world in the shadows. Questions no one dares to answer. Step beyond the Matrix. Subscribe.
They always show you who they are. This is Jack O'Connell at the Oscars wearing fangs. It's not Halloween or anything like that, so why would he want to wear fangs? Unless this is his true self. I really don't know what is going on here, but this is very bizarre because every single time they show you exactly what they are about. They show you exactly who they are, and this is no different with Jack O'Connell and the Oscars, because every single time they show you who they are. They show you who they serve. And guess what? They serve the devil. They serve Satan. So, again, it's no surprise at all that he chose to wear these things. Or could this be who he really is? If you know, you know.
Anybody that knows President Trump knows that he's pissed off right now, because shit is definitely about to hit the fan. Joe Kent, the head of America's counterterrorism, just resigned today. And the things that he said after he resigned has the potential to make the whole country rebel against what's going on right now. Joe Kent is heavily against the war going on in Iran right now, just like every other American citizen that's been saying. His exact words was, Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation. He also said that it's clear that we started this war because of pressure from Israel and their powerful American lobby. Well, he's basically saying our American troops are over there for no reason. Look at the resignation letter. I want you to take a look at this right here, because there's going to be a lot of people that say that he's not a Trump supporter or he's never supported Trump, where it says right there in paragraph 3 that he supported Trump for a long time. I'm going to sit back, read that, screenshot it. He basically said in 2016, 2020, 2024, he supported him. He supported the first term, and he supported everything until June 2025. Mind you, this man has a lot of information. This man knows a lot of secrets about this country. This man was a former CIA veteran. This man has information that we don't have. So when somebody like him says something like this, it has to be some truth in it. And what does the White House do? They dismiss every claim that this man is saying. They say that President Trump had every right to go into Iran because there was a threat. This shit ain't looking good for their team. I want to know what you think. Jump in them comments, because something like this, the only thing that can happen is shit can get way worse. I'm out.
Is California going to be the biggest fraud case we've ever seen in American history? Let's get into it. Because Nick Shirley is back at it again, and this time he's in Los Angeles. Now, he's investigating the home health and hospice care industry, in which 1 out of every $10 in the entire industry flows through Los Angeles, so you can only imagine how bad this is. Now, one of his stops is Van Nuys, California, where he goes to this weird, seedy motel-looking place where there's over a dozen home health and hospice care businesses all next to each other. And he points out in this rundown building, why is there Mercedes and BMWs all through the parking lot? He even goes to one of the businesses, knocks on the door to ask questions, and not only there's nobody there, but there's no furniture in the unit, no people, nothing at all. Now let's talk some facts and figures, because the numbers are way off. So in 2023, the budget was $108 billion, which balloons all the way to $222 billion in 26. Yeah, that doesn't make sense, because compared to the enrollment versus the population, which has been stagnant for years, the budget continues to go up, so something's definitely going on here. Also, in recent years, the hospice care rate in LA has increased to up to 1,000%. I mean, it totally makes sense why this guy was seen driving off the property in a fresh new Maybach, so there's that. Now, to add more validity to this whole thing, this is happening in my backyard, my hometown, Los Angeles. And I've always wondered what was going on in these weird, shady buildings and how these ghost businesses stayed afloat with all the competition next to each other, so now it's starting to make sense. And I feel like this is just the tip of the iceberg for California, because there is a looming billion-dollar tab with SA child abuse lawsuits against the LAUSD. So I will keep my eye on that. Make sure you guys go to my YouTube, The Maverick Approach, because I'm doing a bigger breakdown on this, and let me know what you guys think down below.
Check the way they act right when the president brings up the big one.
He carries a lot of weapons and there's a lot of bombs, but
It's very obvious there's some psychological problems happening right here. It's like they both just heard something they didn't really want to hear. Like, oh crap, it's getting real. By the way, I don't know if the media showed you, but Trump's saying a lot of good things about Iran.
much more. Only because people don't understand to a large, it's a big chess game at a very high level. It's a very high level chess, the highest. And I'm dealing with very smart players. These are smart people. They don't get there. You know, when you deal with some of these people, you're dealing with high level intellect, very high IQ people.
And that's not all. He said a lot of other nice things about Iran.
Iran is truly a nation of great terror and power. Look what happened in the last 2 weeks.
I wonder what's happening in the background. What do y'all think? Let me know.
It wasn't just one UFO, by the way. That day was 2.
Oh,
They
wow.
hardly ever talk about the second one. But I was on the Travel Channel doing a show called American Mystery, I believe it was called, years ago. And we were talking about the 2 craft that came down that day. So Nikola Tesla in the 1900s, late 1800s, early 1900s, before he passed away, had developed something called scalar wave technology. It's a very, very strange type of a radar, but he was utilizing it for weaponization. He believed if we had a weapon like this, then no one would ever come against each other. If both people had the same weapon, then they'd be like, well, it's a stalemate. Let's not fight. That's a weird way of thinking about things. That way, really, to me, that's the lowest IQ part of his entire. Everything else was high IQ, but that thought wave pattern was low. But anyway, he develops this technology, at least the floor plans or the blueprint to make it. They took that technology, they built it, and actually it was taken by Trump's great-great-great-grandfather. I believe it was taken out of this guy's hotel room when he died. But anyway, they built it, and they started realizing they had a lot of applications for radar. We were really starting to develop, different levels of radar. And when they were pointed at our craft, they didn't realize how strong it was. It would disorient the craft, our own craft. And so they're like, this is pretty strange. But when these UFOs start showing up, they said, let's point the scalar wave at the UFOs.
Right.
It worked. It disoriented the UFOs. In some way, this scalar wave technology messed up their navigation and forced them down. And that's why they crashed. People say, well, how can an alien travel through space and time and light years away and then get here and crash? Well, you can't anticipate everything.
Right.
No matter how smart you are, you come into a completely new planet in your eyes. You don't know, some of the tech you scan, but you don't know what this scalar wave, maybe it's some new tech that just popped up, can do to your craft. And it took them down. They then got to the site. People on the site, first of all, eyewitnesses accounts, which I've had the privilege of reading all those eyewitness accounts. They really saw a downed craft. They really saw bodies. The military came, a press release went out into the news initially that there was a craft, a UFO with bodies, and then they recanted that later, I believe the next day, and changed it to a balloon, a weather balloon. But by then they had already gathered all the equipment, all the materials, all the technology, and swept it away. They reverse engineered a lot of that technology. A lot of it was reverse engineered, and we are living today with some of that technology right now. These cameras are running on it, your cell phone's running on it, your computer's running on microchips. That came from that craft. Velcro, believe it or not, came from that craft. Fiber optics came from that craft.
Wow.
A lot of different technologies came from reverse engineered tech, came from the downed UFOs at 1947 at Roswell.
The White House is very, very haunted. It's a mix of things. Stuck souls who have been ritually sacrificed there, as well as demons. I saw some gnarly looking, huge demons. Portals opening, people who dimensionally roam and protect the place. So I don't know if it's like for remote viewers or whatever it may be. Dimensional security, we'll call it, that roams over there that you cannot see like this.
That's not surprising. They probably don't want anyone remote viewing there.
Yeah, it was really interesting, but it also felt kind of empty, Sean. It did not feel like you would imagine a White House to feel like. It felt bare, and it was a lot of dimensional activity. That's what I really saw. Whoever's there, I don't know, but it just didn't feel the way that you would think.
Not full.
Yes, and I did see a closet full of clones of Trump.
Why is it that every time a story is told about Ellen DeGeneres, it gets weirder and weirder? And why do I say that? Because there was a man who now claims that when he was a child, he was a guest on Ellen DeGeneres' show. And he claims to have seen her do some unhuman, scary, like robotic stuff. So the individual in question at the time was a child prodigy chess player. And as you can see, this is an image from the show he was on. He was a guest on the Ellen DeGeneres show. And the claim is that once he got off the set and went back to his dressing room, Ellen DeGeneres' door was open. He took a look in at the door. It was open enough that he could see inside. So he turned his head and he looked. And what he saw next really blew his mind. And his claim is that Ellen DeGeneres was eating a rotisserie chicken, similar to the ones you see behind me. Now, he alleges that what he saw next, she opened her mouth wide open, dislocated her jaw to fit the entire chicken in one bite. Let me repeat, his alleged claim is that she took a rotisserie chicken, opened her mouth wide, dislocated her jaw, and stuffed the entire chicken in her mouth and swallowed it in one shot, and then turned and looked directly at him, and then claims as she was staring at him, she made a hissing sound. He then proceeded to run to his dressing room and let his mother know what he just saw. His mother did not believe him. So my question to you is, do you believe what he said he saw? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Are there going to be energy lockdowns? Is the DM that I got this morning. And I have to say, I'd hope not, but there's a lot of things pointing towards this becoming something a lot larger. Look at some of these coincidences between the brewing energy crisis and COVID. Underestimated at the start. Because of fuel inventories, there's a time lag between identifying the problem and its effects. 3, countries that didn't test didn't have COVID. Countries that are subsidizing fuel purchases or releasing reserve supplies don't have an energy problem yet. Work from home mandates to stop the spread. Work from home mandates to stop the surge in gas prices or to save the fuel that's remaining in some of these countries in Asia. Shut down in international air travel, which is happening right now, even in the United States. They're talking about how the TSA is fully stretched. If this continues, it's not a hyperbole to suggest that we may have to quite literally shut down airports because there's like 50,000 workers who haven't been paid. Then, like COVID, it seemed like it's only going to be a problem in Asia. In reality, fuel is being diverted away from the rest of the world to Asia, so the rest of the world will certainly be affected. In Thailand and Vietnam right now, they already have orders, but not mandatory, to try to stay home, save lives. They're urging the citizens to stay home and save fuel. Not save lives, but save fuel. We may be on the brink of something absolutely massive that could be bigger than COVID because it's, well, the economy would be quite affected as well. And this isn't even mentioning the fertilizer problem where all like 30% of the world's fertilizer goes through the Strait of Hormuz and right now it's not going through. This could get really bad. With all the uncertainty and deceptions that are coming around the corner, there has never been a more important time to be of sound mind and sound body during this pinnacle moment in human history, especially when they're putting all these strange chemicals in the food, air, and water supply. Right now, Chalk is giving away free $100 bags of the organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia, the chocolate powder, which is super detoxing and delicious, plus it stimulates stem cell production. And if you combine that with the hot water purified Shilajit, you're getting some of the most potent superfoods in the natural world. Comment free below and check your DMs for details.
What is real, what isn't? I did a whole deep dive because with CERN, a lot of people may or may not know what CERN is, but essentially it is a research collective by 25 different countries that all came together to build the Large Hadron Collider.
Funny how we can come together when it's some scientifical Dexter's laboratory shit, right?
We're not even in there though. America, we're not in that group.
So we're not part of CERN at all?
No. CERN fired up in 08, right? The first time it ever fired up. So this is in Switzerland, in Geneva, to where it's 17 miles in circumference, right?
It's underground, right?
And it's underground.
How?
How?
I want you to think about this, yo. It's 17 miles underground.
Underground.
That kind of gives credence to what that Bush officials that came out and said, that we got underground cities across the whole country. That means it has to be infrastructure underground.
And essentially what they're doing is they are smashing subatomic particles almost at the speed of light. And they built this to discover what makes up the universe, or when the Big Bang happened, what happened right
right after that. So that's what they're answering these questions, or trying to answer these questions. When CERN was fired up, we tried to shut it down. There was lawsuits that filed here in America to shut CERN down, but to no avail. They couldn't because we're not in it and we have no jurisdiction.
So why did they try to shut it down?
Because they were saying that it could mess with the fabric of reality.
Mandela effect.
So the Mandela effect, essentially, we remember things, and then when we look at them, it's not what we remember.
Right. And it didn't exist before CERN was fired up, by the way.
Exactly. Here's the thing. So Mandela effect didn't start until 2009. There was an author, she's a paranormal researcher, who coined the phrase Mandela effect, right. Fiona Broom, right? So she wrote on this. She started to notice in 2009, wait a minute, hold on. Does Curious George have a tail or doesn't have a tail?
Does Monopoly have the monocle or not?
There's another one that gives it away. Okay, so it's Looney Tunes, Toon Tunes, but the Mandela effect suggests that it's Toon, the other way.
So they're saying Tunes was Tunes, right?
They're saying it was always that.
Right.
No, it wasn't.
No,
exactly.
No, the fuck it wasn't.
Here's the thing. I cracked the code. You remember Tiny Toons, right? Who was Tiny Toons?
That the was same ones. Same ones. There were kids.
There were little kids, right? At Luniversity.
Yep.
That they were learning from Bugs Bunny, all the bigger ones, right? You had Buster Bunny, Plucky Duck. How is Tiny Toons spelled?
Toons.
Okay, so why is it spelled the one way when it's connected to the other one and it's spelled differently?
They're literally the same characters. Why would they spell it differently?
So you have Tiny Toons spelled one way, but you have Looney Tunes spelled the other way?
Make it make sense.
They're saying that the reason they filed these lawsuits is because CERN is creating microscopic black holes
on Earth.
That doesn't sound good.
That's not good here.
They could be opening up portals. I mean, that's what they're saying. What's happening with these microscopic black holes, portals,
Infinity War,
messing with reality, the fabric of time and space.
Cuba is about to be taken over by the United States. And you may be thinking, that's good or that's bad. If you're Cuban, you may be thinking that that's excellent because right now it's not the best situation over there and maybe it'll be better under the United States. I'm neither pro nor anti, but I'm telling you right now, this is a map from the 1930s, which is called the North American Technate. It was a proposed political party about the technocracy movement where they wanted this to be governed by technology. Isn't it interesting that right now, Trump is threatening to take Cuba as the island grapples with a nationwide blackout? 11 million people without power, which there was rolling blackouts for years, but now it's like full grid down scenario. And this is one of the countries that's in the technocracy movement of the North American Technate, the Technate of America, where they want all of what you're seeing in red to be governed under one body, which gets closer and closer to a one world government. So I find it interesting that there's already talks of Canada becoming the 51st state, which is in the game Fallout, by the way, from over a decade ago. Fallout has always had in their lore that Canada becomes an annexed territory of the United States. Greenland, of course, has to be taken for security. We don't want Russia or China to get it. Venezuela just got taken. Haiti and Dominican would be take a look. There's going to be something with all these countries in the coming years that is the justification or the reason why it should be taken by the US. Now, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, the US, they're trying to take over. That's not what this is. It's a lot deeper than that. But let me know if you think this is a wild coincidence and follow for more. Now, with the deception that's coming around the corner, not just here, but in the Middle East, it is the most important time in human history to be of sound mind and sound body. And right now, Chalk is giving away free $100 bags of the organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia, the chocolate powder, which is super detoxing and delicious. And if you combine that with the hot water purified shilajit, you're getting some of the most potent chromoproteins and bioactive compounds in the natural world for brain function, fertility, and detox. Comment free below and check your DMs for details.
I'm a conspiracy theorist. But you don't have to be one to understand that our history may not be exactly what they tell us. Did you know that all of the major cities in the United States had catastrophic fires in the 1800s and early 1900s that may not seem like much until you realize before the fires, this is what the cities looked like. We're told these magnificent buildings were just wood and plaster and thrown together in a couple of years for world fairs. But look at how massive these buildings were. This is Buffalo, New York, and we're supposed to believe this was built with horse and buggy and was just a temporary building? Does this look temporary to you? Something is not adding up. San Francisco also had a real treasure island, and this was Chicago, the White City. this is what's left of it. All destroyed in mysterious fires or controlled demolition. If you knew what we were taught in school wasn't exactly accurate, you might have some questions, like I do. Like, what could they possibly be covering up by burning these beautiful buildings to the ground? Maybe that giants once existed, maybe that energy is actually free and can be harvested from the ether, or maybe creatures we are told are mythological actually existed and still do. Maybe that our maps are wrong and the stories that we read about in the Bible actually took place here. But I don't know. I'm just a conspiracy theorist. Let me know what you think.
All right, kid, here's the deal. At any given time, there are around 1,500 aliens on the planet.
No
most
way.
of them right here in Manhattan. And most of them are decent enough. They're just trying to make a living. Cab drivers. Not as many as you'd think. Humans, for the most part, don't have a clue. They don't want one or need one either. They're happy. They think they have a good bead on things.
Wow. It's just a movie. Come on!
Well, why a big secret? People are smart. They can handle it. A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it.
No.
1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat.
No.
15 minutes ago, you knew that people were alone on this planet.
What is Tommy talking about? What does he mean? There's 1,500 aliens in Manhattan, and that was a long time ago. It's 2026 now. Shut up! He said that some of them are cab drivers. Are you kidding me? He even said that some of them are trying to make a living. They're already not from here, and they want to take our jobs. Stop playing with me, son. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know what they're talking about, guys, because it's just a movie. Aliens don't exist. Shut up! Listen, they told us a long time ago, but as always, we thought it was just a movie. Or like always. Shut up! Listen, it's going down, guys. Tommy Lee said it. You better watch out for those cab drivers, especially those jelly taxi ones. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game on here, guys. You know what it is. Shut up! But I'll tell you one thing. If I ever get into a yellow cab, and that cab driver's giving me alien vibes, not today, buddy. I've seen it.
One of the first sectors that's gonna go is real estate agents. There is a programmer that I saw who did a walkthrough of a luxury home, took the pictures from Zillow, created a nice voice on 11 Labs, and did an entire walkthrough that cost $1,000 to $2,000 that a videographer would shoot for you for a walkthrough for a home, all for $10.
$10, except without the videographer, his attitude, fucking drones,
all that
shit. Gas money that he's gonna ask for to come. He might ask for a meal.
He's definitely asked for a meal.
He's gonna ask for a meal.
So you mean to tell me that you have a complete walkthrough of the home from the pictures made with AI? What do you need a real estate agent for?
Well, real estate agents are already down the can. They've already been replacing them. There's that agent that sold like 2,000 or 3,000 homes in like, I think it was like a day or a couple days or something crazy.
Well, yeah, they were using a platform for AI agents to where there was these AI agents to you go, say you're trying to buy a house, and this was in Portugal. You go to the platform, you talk to an agent, and it was an AI agent. Say, hey, what kind of home do you want? This and that. They'll source it for you. Now, a brokerage holds all the homes, right? So that's where an agent goes to hang their license. Okay, I'm working with a brokerage. The brokerage just says, forget the agents. I have all the homes. I have AI agents now. And they did like over 50 million in sales.
If you have low self-esteem, you'll never follow your intuition without or through a crisis. You will always require a crisis before you act on it because you haven't got enough self-respect or self-esteem to actually listen to the energy as it's being presented to you in the energetic way, what I call the wisdom path. So you end up taking the woe path. Okay? You're always offered the next step in your life in the energetic way. By feeling like this, I don't fit in this world anymore, I don't fit in this relationship anymore, I don't fit wherever, fill in the blank. But if you don't have enough self-esteem, you won't have the courage to say, I gotta pack my bags and get out of here. You'll sit around oming and ahhing and hope running to one psychic after another. Anybody who'll tell you what to do next, so if it doesn't work, you'll blame them.
So the 6 symptoms of low self-esteem are, number 1, imposter syndrome. Number 2, people-pleasing. Number 3, procrastination or perfectionism. Number 4, comparing yourself to others. Number 5, avoiding social interaction. And number 6, hypersensitivity.
Do you ever feel you're just not quite good enough? Like no matter what you achieve, it's never truly enough. That deep-seated feeling of inadequacy, that constant self-doubt, it's rarely born overnight. For many of us, it's an echo from our past, perhaps from a childhood where love felt conditional, or a history of constant criticism from those who were supposed to uplift us. These experiences, subtle or overt, implant a core belief that we are somehow fundamentally flawed or lacking. This isn't about blame, it's about understanding the roots. When you're consistently told or shown that you don't measure up, your developing sense of self internalizes those messages, often leading to a fear of rejection and an inability to truly see your own worth. You start to anticipate criticism, even when it's not there, creating a cycle of self-sabotage and preventing you from embracing your full potential. Recognizing where these feelings come from is the crucial first step. You are not the sum of your past criticisms. You possess inherent value and the power to redefine your self-worth.
So one of the core secrets of success is this. It's become a perpetual self-esteem generating organism. Continually be doing things for yourself, to yourself, in your life that cause you to like yourself, to love yourself, to respect yourself. The more you like yourself, the less you fear failure. The more you like yourself, the less you fear rejection. The more you like yourself, the less you fear anything. Eventually, over time, your self-esteem goes up higher and higher and higher, and your fears go down. As your self-esteem goes up, your fears go in the opposite direction. In order to unlock your full potential, it's absolutely essential that you understand the relationship between the conscious and the subconscious mind. The subconscious is often called the powerhouse of your being.
That's musician Jack Johnson. And if you haven't seen my video on this, well, don't worry. I'm going to catch you up and show you something that none of you are ready for. First, I'm going to cut right to the chase and just show you a few things before I really show you something. The symmetry is all there, in all the ways, in all the different pictures. And so are the marks. And what I'm going to show you in just a second isn't for the faint of heart. It really isn't. Now, a lovely little birdie named Benny sent me this photo with you-know-who saying, don't believe anything I say, except it's not with you-know-who, it's with the other one. And when you see what's on the rest of this picture, boom. Now here's the full picture. And in a second, I'm going to show you some things, and I'm not going to say a lot for censorship purposes. The first thing I want to draw your attention to is right there. And I want to show you how similar it looks to that, just flipped. And while you might not know what it means, it's not the only symbol by a long shot. Not only that one there, but also right there. Right there that looks an awful lot like. And again, you might not know what it means, but... And did you notice the shirt he was wearing? Kind of looks like an owl, doesn't it? An owl with a blindfold. An owl blindfolded. In that practice, it means distorted wisdom, blinded spiritual insight, or a presence of lurking evil and deception. While owls usually represent clear vision and darkness and high wisdom, a blindfolded owl represents humanity's failure to see truths or corruption. Now I'm doing absolutely everything in my power every single day to help take that blindfold off so you can see what's truly going on and who's truly running this world. Now, if you're new to me and my content, you just need to know that I am a kind, caring individual who just wants to help. I was a high school teacher for 20 years before I woke up, and I've been given a gift to see through their evil and expose it. But of course, all this for entertainment purposes. I'm sure that's just doppelgangers, and they don't really like to tell us the truth right in plain sight. It's just a bunch of coincidences. Entertainment only.
Okay, you guys, this is insane. I saw this post on X where it says you need to be paid $10,000 a week to have the same spending power as a kid working at McDonald's in July of '71. And I had to fact check this myself because I thought to myself, there's no way this is possible. So in '71, working at McDonald's, the average wage was $175 or $70 a week. Now, if you bought 1.74 ounces of gold at $40, that was average price in '71. You guys, that comes out to today
That's $8,735 at a little over $5,000 per ounce of gold. So I know you're asking yourself, how is this possible? How is it that bad? Now, the fact that they chose 1971 because that was the same year that Nixon took us off the gold standard, ending the Bretton Woods system. Which means since then, our dollar hasn't been backed by gold or anything else. It's a bunch of IOUs floating around. It's imaginary. It's all fairy dust. Means nothing. So you mean to tell me that a teenager working at McDonald's, stacking up gold, making $70 a week, would be a multi-millionaire right now? So when in doubt, zoom out. It goes to show you that inflation kills nations. Make sure you guys hit up my YouTube, The Maverick Approach. I'm doing a bigger breakdown on this because this is very interesting. And let me know what you guys think about all this down below.
I know that the Nephilims are the ones that are keeping us locked. So let me tell you what I understand. They are the Egyptians. They're everything because y'all don't understand what they understood. They was here so long, they learned how to manipulate energy.
Yes, they can change their physical form.
Yes.
They can walk in and out of this dimension.
Right.
And that's what people are ignoring because these piece of shit pastors won't tell people that it's not just one God.
Right.
And that's the whole issue. So when you see Congressional Rep Luna, Tim Burchett, having whistleblower meetings and they speak about a galactic federation, that's the same thing in Psalm 82 about this divine council of gods.
Right.
So I believe there are multiple gods. Some of them demand worship. Some of them demand sacrifice. And the more powerful ones don't don't intervene directly, but subconsciously.
Right.
Some people say dreams aren't real. I disagree. In fact, I believe our dream world is more real than our physical world. I have a question for you. Ever found yourself dreaming and you was falling from a big ass building and right before you hit the ground, you woke up? Did you know if you are falling in your dream and you hit the ground, you might die in your sleep? This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. If you ever had that falling feeling in your dream, it's pretty normal. When we go to sleep, our spirit goes to the higher chakras, and before we wake up, we fall to the lower chakras. You cannot come back into this reality unless you die in your dream. I want people to understand and understand that our spirits is really in prison. Yes, we are in some kind of spiritual prison. We are stuck in the loop of infinity. So every night you go to sleep, you leave this world, and when you wake up, you come back to this world. So many people ask, what is the Matrix? The Matrix is a glass prison. Yes, we are living in some big ass glass dome. It's a reflection of our spiritual crimes. We are all being charged in time because we accepted the moon as a gift. Every time the moon goes through one of its phases, it's taking a piece of our energy. We were never supposed to get old, never supposed to get sick, never supposed to die, but when the moon came in our atmosphere, it put fear in our atoms. We are the fish that's living inside of a glass dome, but this glass dome is a prison. You ever take a fish out of the ocean and put them in one of your fish tanks? They did the same shit to us. Every night you go to sleep, your spirit get a chance to leave the glass dome, and when you wake up, your spirit jump back in your physical body, right back to the Matrix.
Did y'all see this asteroid crash into Ohio? It exploded with the pressure of 250 tons of TNT.
It was just like a boom, like that.
Now, for reference, that is the exact amount of a nuclear bomb. Yeah. Now, they're saying it was only 6 feet wide, but it was like 7 tons.
The fireball, also spotted as far away as Pittsburgh, streaking through the sky.
Did you hear the loud boom?
It sounded like a freaking bomb went off in the Cleveland area.
Alright, I know what you're thinking. Before you conspiracy theorists start theorizing, I can already hear it. Aliens, Before you do that in my comments, just know that, yeah.
It was just like a boom, like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just with everything going on, I'm just super suspicious of the official stories nowadays.
Some type of
rocket or something burning.
From Maryland to Michigan, people and cameras saw the same thing.
Some type of rocket or something burning.
They also heard something.
Something went boom earlier. It shook us over here.
Yeah, but I don't know. What do y'all think? Did you hear the asteroid go off, or what do y'all think that thing was? Let me know in the comments.
Boom! Like that.
Have y'all seen what's going on in Texas? Crazy things all up in the sky. Zombie warnings at a courthouse in Texas. This video was recorded by this guy right here, and thank you to the girl that reached out to me and sent it to me. This is not a meteor, guys. You can see it going around in circles and doing all sorts of weird stuff. At the same time, they heard something all the way from Ohio to New York, they were saying. It was a loud, crazy boom that shook everything. And we got this thing going on at the same time. And this is in Texas. And obviously in Texas, they're finding little pamphlets that are about preparing for zombies. And I'm not saying it's related, but I'm saying it's weird that all this happens at the same exact time. By the way, have you seen all the meteors lately? Like the last week? It's just every single day we're seeing these in the sky. And don't even lie to yourself and say it's a meteor. This thing is doing gymnastics in the sky, going around in circles and left and right. So I guess zombies is next. What do y'all think?